that I just don't find that equating a criminal history with someone who's undocumented, to me, that's not the reform that I would say our state should take. I mean, crime is crime regardless of who it comes from. And so to equate that with an undocumented person.
Have you called it, and respond to that?
And I would use.
Yes, please respond.
Thank you, Representative Love. And I agree with you. Just because someone is committed a horrendous crime, even if that doesn't mean all illegals are like that. But the fact of the matter is that we have women, parents in this state who have lost children, and other parents who have children or loved ones who have been disabled or harmed or injured.
Representative Hawks, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, for the record, I'm not for sanctuary cities, but I have a number of questions about this bill because I think it's trying to handle a very complex issue in a simple two-page manner. But my first question refers back to a statement that you made on line 11 of page 2. You said that this bill prevents people from basically stereotyping and trying to figure out, but really that line 11 allows the officers to do that is the way that I take that. Now, I may be reading that wrong, but they're saying that the municipality cannot ban a person from asking about their citizens. Am I reading that wrong, or will they be allowed?
We vetted this through, we vetted this prevents law enforcement officers from asking a person about his or her citizenship or immigration status. And like I said before, when you're talking about certain heinous crimes that have been committed, then this is not, they're going to be asked. But when it's a minor violation of the law, such as a traffic stop, this says that this says very explicitly that it prevents law enforcement officers from asking the person about his or her citizenship.
You're recognized for follow-up.
Okay, because I read on page 1, starting on line 26, it says, as used in this section, sanctuary policy means an ordinance or law enforcement policy, whether formally enacted or informally adopted by custom or practice, that, then you have your colon there, and it limits all the way down to 6, that it prevents law enforcement officers from asking a person about her citizenship. So that in your bill would be a sanctuary policy, and I understand that it may have been vetted by the AG, but I'm just saying what it really appears that your bill says.
Well,
Would you agree?
well, I would agree that the sanctuary policy under those lines is an ordinance, and it says limits or prohibits a municipal official or person employed by the municipality from communicating or cooperating with federal agencies. That is the definition of what a sanctuary city is. When a city sets up a policy that prevents its law enforcement or officials from cooperating with the federal government as far as the detainer is concerned, that's what that language is.
Okay, Representative Hodges, you recognize.
Representative Love spoke about, but you mentioned about the criminal activity, illegal. So do you have any data, any stats, or any information showing any statistical data showing how many people have been raped or murdered by illegal as opposed to a citizen? Because we have to have something to go by in order to make a decision as to if this is necessary or not. So, is there any data that you can provide that show that this is a problem?
There's data, and I wish if you give me just a second, I was trying to pull it up.
Let's be back to this. We look at and all that, but, you know, we're always being proactive for a reason. And so data helps us, you know, form our decision.
Okay. I'll just give you some statistics that are true for here in Arkansas. There are households at 23,000 students to our local schools. That average cost to our Kansas is $4,300 per illegal immigrant that's in our schools. It costs our education system $200. Police and legal and correction institutions. And by the way, we know this because I checked with the Department of Correction. We're spending over $2 million a year incarcerating individuals who have broken the laws in our state prisons. But the total cost is $53.2 million for police, legal, and when you start adding up numbers like that, and we're sitting in here getting ready to do an RSA.
I'm just kind of, how do we keep up with somebody who's not documented? How do you keep up with these numbers if they're not documented or they're illegal? I'm just kind of confused.
How do you keep up?
You mentioned that you can't get public assistance because I don't.
Well, there's no way we can know the entire totality of how many there are because we don't know. Nobody even knows really how many there are in the United States. The federal government has put out, you know, numbers anywhere from.
You'll see not only maps, but present as facts based on they have on their side. Color mentioned red, yellow, and green, and each one of those stands for more crime. And what we do know is from some of our families in the state of Arkansas who have lost children or loved ones, by having, and they have an illegal immigrant in the state to be known as an angel mom or angel parent, if they weren't here. County, my daughter-in-law was hit by a truck full of illegal immigrants. And before the police could get there, because her vehicle was disabled, and so I eventually had to go to Hot Springs to check the truck and a criminal activity. And so I've spoken with several families over the last few weeks myself, and apparently I've spoken to naturalized operate as Americans. And then, you know, when I go in and meet with the questions, out of 100, and they pass. And so talking about people studying her book while she was bringing food, but when we have illegals crossing at unprecedented rates, they're finding their way from our southern borders up into Arkansas and beyond. And it's just time that we say, do it the right way or don't come here.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
we have another witness here from the city of Little Rock, city director. If it would be okay, could we ask him to come?
Well, at this time, I've got several people in the queue that would like to ask some questions. Do you think?
Well, he might be able to answer some of those.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Have them come up.
She's enough for ready people.
My name is Lance Simons, I'm the city director for Ward 5 in Little Rock.
Okay.
I'll promise to be brief, I know we're later on the issue. Part of the reason I'm here in support of the Senate Bill 411 is earlier this year I attempted to run a resolution that merely recognized what the city of Little Rock is already doing to comply with federal immigration law based on our Department of Justice public safety grants and the ability to even be eligible to petition the government for other public safety grants from the Department of Justice going forward. I was unable to garner enough votes to get that passed. As all of you guys know, you know what the majority is in your committee. I know what the majority is on our city board. It requires 6 votes, requires 8 to override a mayoral veto. I was planning on going down the proverbial ship. I didn't have the votes. I was going to run the votes at the same time, so for the city. And mind, it's a resolution that and a resolution in municipal government simply recognizes what the city policy is. This is something we were already doing administratively through our police chief, through our city attorney, and in compliance with federal law. My concern is if it's not recognized as the policy of the city of Little Rock, it can be changed administratively, much like our city ID program that was created. It was created, it was voted on by the board as a budget item. So to say that there is not an ordinance on the books is not correct. We do have a budget ordinance that created the City of Little Rock ID program. It was built as a program to give ID to people. That ID program, a month and a half ago, I think we issued over 1,100 IDs. And I don't know whether or not those were all to homeless, to illegal immigrants, but that's how many we've done. I had an issue with that. I think that's the state's purview to issue ID. If you're in the country, if you're a foreign national in the country legally, you have a passport and a visa, you can go to the state of Arkansas and get an ID. The Mexican consulate, if you're a Mexican national, you can go to the Mexican consulate and get an ID. The consulates for Honduras, Guatemala, and I want to say Honduras, Guatemala, and Nicaragua, about every quarter, have consulates that come here and they issue ID to their citizens that are living in the state of Arkansas. Just say that we can do this. So, I think the issue, and even our mayor, Frank Scott, said that this was just a solution looking for a problem. I really think it's preemptive prevention. I will be the first one normally down here objecting to preemption by the state. That's why I wanted to run my resolution, so we could come down here and Senator Stubblefield granted his bill, and I could say, we don't really need it. We're handling it at the local level. But we've been unwilling to even have a discussion at the local level. You'll hear some comments, and we heard them in the Senate testimony, that there's panic in the immigrant community. Most of the groups you're going to hear from raise money and get money to help the immigrant community. They're the ones that are the direct conduit on what our policies are at the state level. And I think they've caused some of the panic within the immigrant community. My resolution didn't do anything but state what our policy was as a city. And they were scared that we were going to be transparent and tell everybody what we were actually doing as a city. Because I'm tired as a legislator from Little Rock here, and all you folks from around the state assume that Little Rock is a sanctuary city, and we're not. But with the absence of this preemption, I'm afraid that we're already headed down that road. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Brown, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm concerned here that we're getting off into the weeds of the problems that are created by the influx of illegal immigration and not addressing this bill, which is simply a preemptive bill to say that we will operate sanctuary cities in our state. And it clearly states here what is a sanctuary policy. And one of those is that it violates 8 U.S.C. 13. May not prohibit or in any way restrict any government entity or official from sending to or receiving from the Immigration and Naturalization Service information regarding the citizenship or immigration status, lawful or unlawful, of an individual. And that's really what we're talking about here, is to put in place that Arkansas, no municipality in this state, will allow in the naturalization service. I mean, we have to have it. We have to be a rule of law. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, isn't that what this bill is about?
I would agree.
I mean, we can't do anything about what it costs. You gotta be sleeping under a log to not know what it costs. You have to be sleeping under a log to not know that sanctuary cities have more crime than other cities. And when you prohibit federal government from doing their job by your policies, then we are not being good citizens. And I'm having a difficult time finding what would be onerous about this bill.
Okay, Representative Brown, Representative Richmond, y'all try to keep it on the bill. We have been drifting a little bit, so.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and this question is for anybody up there. Let's go back to local control for just a minute. It was discussed a while ago. I know my experience in here, local control, each and every side uses it when it benefits them. In this particular case, you see the same argument. However, the difference is, in this particular case, should a city be allowed, on the basis of local control, to pass laws, resolutions, whatever, that violates federal law? Can't hear you.
No.
Thank you.
Okay, Representative Love, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I'm glad that we're talking about should we pass laws that are also legal, because we passed so. So, I mean, but that's.
Point of order, Mr. Chair. This has nothing to do with the bill.
Please keep the
Yes,
remarks on the
I
bill.
will. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I see that I'm looking through the bill, and there is a references to the Attorney General. What I would like to ask the sponsor is there a fiscal impact to the Attorney General's office?
Not that I'm aware of, man, staff already. Okay,
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, Representative Hawks, you recognize.
It says here, on line 33, page 1, that you are a sanctuary city if you grant to illegal immigrants the right to lawful presence.
Well, I would refer back to what Representative Brown said. I think it's still pretty. This bill is really very simple. It defines what a municipal sanctuary policy is. In the first of the bill, it defines, it also provides penalties for cities to defy federal law for the county, state governments. They all have to comply with federal law.
Okay, Representative Boyd, you recognize.
Question about preemption and preemptive legislation, and so I just want to ask your opinion on this while I'm thinking about it. If we have no sanctuary cities today and no plans for them, what do you see as the concern with preemptive legislation?
I think, but nationally, the sanctuary cities, sanctuary states, it's a slippery slope. And so what this bill is going to do is establish the parameters for our state and the legal, but now we're on record as saying not in our.
Wouldn't I try to somebody that before they got it or after they got it? If I was a pharmacist, I would certainly recommend that they get that flu shot way before the flu season actually rolls in.
Senator, would you talk into the mic?
Getting close to flu season, I would recommend that my patients get a.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just real quickly, there's been some discussion.
Because I think he left a vital part of what he was saying now, presence or status within the municipality in violation of federal law. It doesn't say they can't, it just says in presence.
Yeah.
Okay. Seeing no other questions from the committee, this is my favorite time trying to pronounce some of these names. 9 people who have signed up to speak for or against the bill. I would ask that you keep your comments brief. A lot of this has been covered already, but I do not want you to think that you didn't get to speak. So At this time, someone who signed up against Maria? Yes. Could you please come forward? I apologize for your name. Please state your name for the record, and if you represent.
Which is I know the time and commitments that you all put to this. Appreciate that you all are giving the attention to immigration that we also share. We firmly believe that we have a broken system, and I want to sit here as somebody that works with and advocates for the immigrant community to say that we are equally thirsty for a conversation on immigration. We would just respectfully say that this isn't the forum to do, and our concerns for our mayors and what we're exposing right now our state and mayors to in regards to lawsuits, but also the potential economic